Last night, the New York Jets, again, I don't know why I put myself through this. I don't know why. I don't know why each and every year I say to myself, what the hell? Let's just put the old blood pressure up again and let me watch Jets football. Let me be a Jets fan again. Why? I have no idea why I do this. Last night, the Jets lose. Jets embarrassed 37-20 at the hands of the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns clinch a playoff spot at the expense of the Jets. I had 31-17 Browns. It was 37-20. The 85 Bears defense, again, I mean, listen, I guess they are better than the 85 Bears defense in the current 85 Bears defense state. Some of them are, in wheelchairs. Some of them are dead. So I guess presently they're better than the 85 Bears now, although the way they've been playing the last couple of weeks, I'm not even too sure that they could beat the 85 Bears in their current state. That's how bad this defense has been. 37-20 last night. Joe Flacco, who, when Aaron Rodgers went down, the Jets had a plethora of quarterbacks to call from, veteran quarterbacks to call. Wentz, who Joe Douglas has a relationship with. Matt Ryan. Joe Flacco, who knew the playbook. And, yeah, he didn't get much wins with the Jets. Hardly any when he was with them. But serviceable. The one knock on Flacco was that he just had cement for feet. He couldn't move anymore. But maybe the time off, maybe that was a blessing. He's looked great so far. Yeah, he's thrown his fair share of interceptions, but the yardage that this guy is throwing for, he's just slinging the ball so far for the Cleveland Browns, who find themselves in the playoffs under Kevin Stefanski, who has done a great job this year. And again, my thing is this. Once Aaron Rodgers went down 4 plays in for the New York Jets season, and we've seen this curmudgeon of a season for the Jets. It's been, Salah's going to be back. You know why? Because they have injuries. So obviously the injuries are going to negate all this, and it's going to be kind of a get-me-out-of-jail-free card for Robert Saleh because they have all these injuries. Well, let me tell you something. The Browns clinched the playoffs berth last night again, as I mentioned, against the Jets. They are 11-5 on the year. This is their list of significant injuries on offense. Quarterback, Deshaun Watson. Running back, Nick Chubb. Tackle, Jack Conklin. Tackle, Jedrick Willis. Tackle, DeJuan Jones. Wide receiver, kick returner, Jakeem Grant. On defense, Acronano, defensive end, down. Safety, Grant Delpit, down. Safety, Rodney McLeod, down. Defensive tackle, Maurice Hurst, down. Linebacker, Jacob Phillips, down. Special teams, kicker, Dustin Hopkins, down. All of that, mind you, so we have 12 pretty significant injuries spread across offense, defense, and special teams. Yet Kevin Stefanski, in a tight division, Kevin Stefanski was able to get 11 wins out of this team. He has changed the culture in Cleveland. They're now expected to make the playoffs every year. They win their share of games. They've done pretty good under Stefanski. And by far, without question, he is my leading candidate and should be all of these other voters for Coach of the Year this year. The job that he has done. It has been magnificent. And again, this is what I keep saying. Coaching matters. It matters at this level. Coaching matters at any level. I don't want to hear that, they're the pros, the coaching. No, coaching matters. You can't use injuries as the excuse. Cleveland's not using it with Stefanski. He's not using it as an excuse. And I'm tired. I'm just tired of this guy. I'm tired of Robert Saleh, who is a defensive-minded coach disguised as a head coach. This guy is terrible. This is him. If you're watching the video portion of this on the WSIB Radio YouTube, Story Hour Network YouTube, and we're streaming on WSIB Radio around the country, I'm tired. It's all gas, no brakes. Stop it! Stop it! It's all gas, no balls. This guy is terrible. You're getting your dicks kicked in. You're just getting destroyed again. Your vaunted defense is getting their dicks kicked in again for the second week in a row, third week in a row, actually. You're down 26 in the fourth quarter. Half of the field in a lost season. And you punt the ball. What are you doing? You're just showing us that you've given up. Fourth down, you gotta go for it there. Hell, you got half the field. Your season's lost. The game is lost. For the love of God, man, have some balls and go for it. What's wrong with you? I'm tired of him. All this guy's worried about is texting and playing golf with Joe Benigno and dyeing his freaking beard hair black. That's all he's worried about. And this is the guy that Woody Johnson gave a vote of confidence for? Are we kidding me? As Jet fans, are we really supposed to sit here and say, you know what? We're going to get Rodgers back next year. Then we're going to bring everything back, the whole coaching staff back. We'll be great. No! And this guy shows no emotion. For the love of God, I killed Todd Bowles on the air for years for just sitting there with that pale, blank, emotionless face. Well, guess what? Let's have a staring contest between Todd Bowles and Robert Saleh, because that's all they freaking do. That's what the Jets' coaching tenures of Bowles and Saleh are going to be. Just them standing there with that stupid face. This, and again, if that, you gotta listen. Rich Cimini. And again, I'm not the biggest Rich Cimini fan. Does a great job, right? Because we have some pretty decent beat writers here for the Jets. So Cimini asks a question, which I think, let me get the correct wording here of the question. So, and it got testy. Oh my God. My God, if I asked that question, for the love of God, I would not have let up. I got to give Rich credit. He let up. I would not have let up. I would have took this guy to the cleaners. Cimini basically said in the presser yesterday that Saleh didn't particularly seem angry. And he kind of asked him, like, what's going on? And Saleh took exception to this. Why? I don't know. I thought it was a question that was warranted. Take a look for yourself.
What you really feel inside, but you don't seem like particularly like angry or upset about it. I'm wondering if you could just share like what's really churning inside you now.
I'm not quite sure on the question, Rich.
Well, you don't seem like
Do you want me to throw the podium on the floor?
whatever you want to do is.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, so just one takeaway. If I had to take away one thing from that press conference and from that kind of, exchange there with him and Cimini, is that Saleh's a moron. And he should not be coaching this team. And I have said this for the love of God for as long as I can remember. I didn't like the hire when they hired him. I certainly don't like it now. And for all you people that defend him, let's just sit here as reasonable people. And let me discuss this. Okay? Even Rob Lowe is like, what the hell's going on here? The bobblehead Rob Lowe can do a better job here. Robert Saleh is now 17 and 33 through 50 games. 17 wins, 33 losses. 18 of those 33 losses have been by double digits. 8 of those losses have been by 20 points. He is 1-6 in prime time. He has 3 division wins in 3 years. Joe Douglas is 26 and 56 in his tenure. Or if you take away his first season, where he took over basically after the offseason was over for Maccagnan, which made no sense whatsoever. If you take that away, Douglas is 19 and 47. So clearly this tandem isn't working. And I get destroyed. First off, there are things that I get destroyed about by Jets social media that I don't understand why. Number one is the coaching. Number 2 is the general manager. Number 3 is the defense. And I get destroyed. Every single time I bring this up. I'm called a moron. I'm called you're hot take city. You're horrible, Soriano. You have no clue what you're talking about. You don't know football. There was one person that said, stop with the, what was it, a loser mentality or something like that, or I was just so lost or stupid. Well, fuck you. Because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Because once again, we have even more proof to my, whatever the hell, that my rants that the coaching is not good, the general manager is not good, and the defense is not that great. Any reasonable person who knows football, who thinks the Jets will be any different next year because of a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers, has no clue what the hell they are talking about. No clue. Like I said, Saleh is 17 and 33 in 50 games. He has proven that he is not the answer. He is a defensive coordinator, glorified, at best defensive coordinator. And again, just the other day, Saleh's sitting there mouthing off that they have a championship caliber defense. They don't. They have a good defense. They don't. It is not a championship caliber defense. The return of Aaron Rodgers is not going to solve the defensive problems. It's not going to solve every other problem that they have in this team. This team does not show up in prime time. They get embarrassed on prime time. And this owner, I'm sorry, Woody, for the love of God, I'm hoping Trump wins again just so we can nominate Woody for a cabinet position and get Woody the hell out of here. He's got to sell the team. For the love of God, it's over. The fact that Woody Johnson has just guaranteed, he officially guaranteed Saleh would be back next year, and the Jets' response was to get embarrassed by 2 backup quarterbacks in a row, including almost blowing a 23-point lead at home versus a terrible Washington team with a lame duck head coach. It says a lot about Robert Saleh, and it's not good. It's not good. They're not a well-coached team. You can't defend them anymore. Even if you're the staunchest supporter, you can't defend them. They are outmatched, and that falls on the coaching. Elite defense, my ass. An elite defense does not get this done to them by backup quarterbacks in back-to-back weeks. It does not happen. Sorry, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care how many, categories you want to say. Oh, this, that. Look at the big numbers. Look at when the games matter. Look at when the lights are shining brightest. Look at when they're playing decent enough competition. And you'll see the yard. Break it down. Break it down by opponent. But you mean to tell me that that defense is so good that they almost coughed up a 21-7 lead to Washington? Are you kidding me? That's a Super Bowl level defense? And again, Flacco, I love Flacco. But all we heard last year was that he's got cement. He's got cement for feet. Can't move, can't move. He picked them apart last night. Again, let me spell it out for you. Last 3 games for this vaunted defense. The 85 Bears. 30-point shutout loss in an elimination game. A blown 20-0 lead against the 32nd ranked defense at home. And what seems likely to be and it was the NFL high 6 20-point blowout loss. How do you try and sell this to a fan base? How do you expect to tell people everything's going to be okay? How? How do you want people to say, yeah, you know what? We just looked horrible. Yeah, okay. We're going to run it back with everyone else and we'll be fine. No, that's not the answer. That's not how it's going to go. This team is a joke. Saleh is a joke. Douglas is a joke. And they have to go. Soon. Because as long as I'm breathing in and breathing out here, I can tell you this. I can guarantee you this. I can almost guarantee you this. They run it back next year. And the way Douglas has done his job, just look at this year as an example. The way Saleh has coached his team through 50 games, Jets aren't going to make the playoffs with Saleh and Douglas. Ever. Back to the drawing board, folks. Because these two, they ain't it. All gas, it's a lot of gas. And it stinks like bullshit.